Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So we are back with another shard pull video. My prediction was correct, and there was indeed a sacred pogo around the corner in the near term, and it is finally here. So we get to take advantage of our proximity to Mercy and go all in for the sacred pogo. Now, I've actually seen a lot of people saying that they're not going for this, so let me know in the comment section down below if you are going for this. I know a lot of people do like to gamble on these, but of course, I'm in the relatively unique position of having loads of sacreds, so I can take the hit here no matter how many it's going to cost. Again, all in is the goal, and despite the pulls, it will not affect my ability whatsoever to complete the next upcoming fusion, which presumably starts sometime next week, probably not later this week. Otherwise, we'd probably see the fusion warm-up event. Now, admittedly, it's definitely a shame that this wasn't overlapping with the hero's path, where we did have to pull shards. That would have been rather convenient, and that would have made it a lot easier to get the cat's gaze, which I did manage to achieve. But yeah, unfortunate there. So no overlap. Essentially, there's no overlapping shard pull event going on right now, so this is kind of just throwing shards into the ether, but of course the outcome is getting 2 legendaries instead of 1. So if we take a look at the overall shard count on the account, of course we've already seen how many sacreds I have, but nonetheless we'll go through it as we always do. 623 on the ancients, 213 on the void, 74 on the primals, and then 70 on the sacreds, which of course we'll be dipping into today. And then if we are to throw up our mercy tracker on the screen here, you can see what I'm talking about when I say our mercy has been preserved for a while. I haven't pulled a sacred in a couple of weeks or so now, and we are 1 shard into mercy, which is again not a guarantee that the next one is going to be a legendary or anything like that, but within the next 20 sacreds the odds are fairly high, like an 80-something% chance that within 20 sacreds we should be able to get the double legendary, which is still decent odds. And as is customary for pogo events, because of course we are guaranteed to get 2 legendaries, let's go through my top 5 non-void legendaries. 1 being a poison exploder, that being Xavier or Ellen Rill. Number 2 being Molly Tankard. Number 3 being Elva Autumnborn. Number 4 being Duchess Lola 2, and number 5 being Lord Champfort. But of course I do expect to get a decent amount of epics along the way. There is no 2x going on right now, so we're at the base rates in terms of getting a legendary. So any and all duplicate epics for empowerment will be impactful. So without further ado, let's get into the pulls. We've got 25 slots, and hopefully that should be enough, unless we get some really bad RNG. We've got a boatload of cash, and hopefully we get some pretty decent luck. But again, this is somewhat of a guaranteed return, so we're looking for quality, definitely not quantity, because the quantity is guaranteed. So let's dive right in. We are going to see a sea of epics, that is for sure. Firegun Isabel should be, or definitely is, useful in Bommel, against Bommel. I recently got her for the first time as far as the copy outside of the fusion that she was a part of, so I can empower her potentially. Lady Quillen, she hits decently hard. Bannerlord's like faction war style champion, maybe Curse City DPS type stuff, but not really that exciting. Firegun Isabel does have bombs in her kit, so she's kind of like a mini Nishak, if you will. Torture Helm, I think he's a rosin fusion epic, so pretty much useless, but he is really annoying in PvE content with his revive passive. Next sacred is Gory. He had kind of like a little bit of a heyday with hard mode Firenet coming out, and he was used for this triple hitter freeze at random, and then Newt came out, and then Crowden came out, and Eldor, and then he kind of just got tossed by the wayside. So basically useless in the current day and age. So let's keep it going here. Sacred, here we are. Legendary, here we go. First one is a Nethril. That is unfortunate, but I do think that is a duplicate for Faction Guardians. And the second one is another duplicate, Archbishop Penthroy. Okay, so I think we got a double Faction Guardians pull here, but that's fair. We did get fairly lucky with the Remnant summon, so this is karma, I guess. Balancing out the amazing return with the average return. But again, Faction Guardians for me, in my case, because I'm not 10 out of 10 on any single faction, and in fact, this might be 10 out of 10 for Sacred Order. We'll see that in a few seconds here. But Archbishop Penthroy is very useful in Hydra, which is where I use him, notably in an Affinity Breaker and a Merciless combo set. He does have a lot of affinity issues when it comes to Hydra Clan Boss. A lot of the heads are magic for a lot of the rotations, but you can get around that with the Affinity Breaker set, so that's why I have him in there. But of course, Hydra, increase accuracy on across your entire team, and then AoE block buffs, which is very useful. And then he provides a little bit of healing, a little bit of shielding, increased defense as well. And then he could steal a buff on the A1, which kind of helps sometimes, but it's not really that important. But yeah, just kind of a Hydra champion, pretty useful for that. Again, Affinity Breaker and Merciless is the build I have him in. And then Nethril, pretty dead as far as utility in the current day and age. He does have a lot of poisons on the A1 if you ascend him, a triple hitter with poisons, and then the AoE stun. So he's more of like a Cursed City champion, if anything. So he could be useful for that. And actually, is he new? I don't remember. I'm blanking on whether or not, because I definitely have probably built him if I had him, because AoE stun, 50% chance on a 5-turn cooldown, which is brutal. Even if books down to 4-turn, it's just still kind of bad. But having that would be nice in the Cursed City. And then decrease and turn meter decrease here, AoE 75% on a 5-turn cooldown. Man, these cooldowns are horrible. Good God. But yeah, so decent champion, I'd say, for the Cursed City is basically the only place where you'd ever see him. But let's see, is he new? He might be new. Okay, I lied. He is not a duplicate. He is brand new on my account. So Nethril, first timer here. Welcome to the squad. That makes sense. Look at his hair, just kind of floating there. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, so maybe a new Cursed City champion who can help out there. AoE stun, AoE turn meter drop, and then some poisons on the A1, attack-based. Again, I've always been outspoken about attack-based rooms in the Cursed City are one of the hardest, because there's no survivability, and you basically have to have control, or else you're just going to get rolled over whenever the enemy gets a turn. But yeah, so let's double check here with the faction guardians and see, do we have our first 10 out of 10? No, I lied. Okay, so we add in Archbishop Pinthroy at least, so he's added there. But yeah, so it's just our Rashkar, the towers here are joining them. Okay, so 6 out of 10. Unfortunate, I got ahead of myself there. Which one was 8 out of 10? Was it? I thought it was 6. Oh, it's Bannerlords, of course. Very, very similar looking factions. I do always mix them up. But Lizardman is also kind of caught up. But Lizardman is the closest, tied with Bannerlords as far as getting to 10 out of 10. But I will take it. We did get a new champion that could have some utility, and we did get a bonus in terms of faction guardians for the Sacred Order. So who might that actually help? That's the accuracy and the resistance. Accuracy for Corvus, I guess that's a little bit nice. More chance to stun for Astralon. Alice, that's definitely good. More accuracy for her. Wixwell, more resistance. Glacea, I do use him. Oh, of course, Pinthroy, duh. More accuracy and resist for Archbishop Pinthroy, which means I could probably change his build a little bit, because it's definitely hard to fit him into Merciless as well as Affinity Breaker, so it's good for his stats. Good for Lady Noelle as well, Sir Nick. So lots of good champions who can kind of benefit from the accuracy and the resistance, so we'll take that. All right, so that's going to do it for this Shard Pull session. We are going to keep this one short and sweet. I'm not going to complain about 5 Sacreds being invested in for 2 Legendaries, so we still have plenty remaining for any upcoming fusions and other shard pulling events. So pretty happy with that result. Again, we did get a new champion who has potential to be used in the Cursed City, and I do need some champions to build. I have a lot of chickens, especially after that Hero's Path. Made a lot of 5-star chickens over the past few days. And yeah, duplicate for faction guardians for Sacred Order. So 6 out of 10. Making progress. Slowly but surely we'll get to 10 out of 10, hopefully by 2027 at this rate. Once again, do let me know in the comment section down below if you are also participating in this Sacred Pogo. I do know it is right before a fusion, so you might want to hold off if you're a little bit strapped for shards, but I also know that a lot of people do enjoy taking chances, so let me know if you're one of the people taking your shot this go around. As always, if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content overall on this channel. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.